Yeah, everybody gets a payoff, Joe. Don't act like you're so fucking like schoolyard. Everybody's getting a fucking payoff to fucking do whatever the hell they can get away with doing. And they're not getting in trouble for it.
There's no way people went on the moon. There's no way. There's no way people went on the moon. There's no way.
There's no way that was a hoax. There's no way. There's no way that was a hoax. There's no way. There's no way that was a hoax. There's no way.
Joe, you were totally down for, you were the moon hoax crusader. Something.
No. Hold on, Eddie. This Japanese satellite that all these hundreds of scientists worked on for like a decade.
They faked moon landings.
They shoot it out into space.
Pandering is common amongst cowards. There's a lot of cowards. A lot of cowards today.
Yeah.
If that's real to you, man, shit.
You don't think it's real?
They faked 6 moon landings.
Stop saying that because it's irrelevant. Stop saying that because it's irrelevant. Stop saying that because it's irrelevant.
Now, you were a moon guy for a while, right?
What made you make the switch from like being a moon landing denier to like
That's a good question.
Crazy if you don't.
No, I don't think we're crazy.
Pandering is common amongst cowards. There's a lot of cowards. A lot of cowards today.
Yeah.
How much have you looked into how much work was done to try to put satellites into orbit?
So you think we went to the moon?
That's not what I asked you. I said, how much did you look into that?
Do you think we went to the moon?
Eddie, answer my fucking question.
You don't answer my question?
Talk ridiculous.
So
you're talking in circles.
Okay.
You're talking in circles.
I am?
But
it's very fun to think that it's a conspiracy. I don't want to hear your heaven deal. I don't want to hear your space deal.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good right here.
I do worry about you sometimes, man, because it's like, I think it's finally going to happen. I think one of your fucking guests is going to come in here with a briefcase, and he's going to show you something.
I was hoping it was going to be Tom DeLonge. I was hoping he had something.
I'll tell the government right now, tell you right now if you're listening, NSA, CIA, I'm available, okay? If you show me all the real wreckage, I swear to God, I will make fun of that crap to the end of time. I'll make up stories. I'll lie to my mother. I don't care. You show me a UFO, I'll lie to my mother.
Joe Rogan, I know he didn't tell me this. I learned from other sources, and I talked to him about it. He said, yeah, I'm not going to talk about it. He got threatened about 5 years ago. And he got threatened really serious, and him and his family, if he didn't stop getting into conspiracies, because they knew how popular he was. They had him do some TV show that made fun of it all and the rest of it. Not say he was a sellout, but it was a process when that show was starting. He wasn't even aware what was happening to him at the time. And I'll just say this. Joe just disagrees, he can say it, but he knows this is true. And so that's why I was on the show, and he was like finishing my sentences. Joe knows as much as this as I do. He learned about all this. He talked about it, and they dropped by and they said, you know, you want what you're doing, your family, shut your mouth.
That's the government trying to control me. They can't handle the truth.
You're very important. I don't know if you know how important, like, the cool guy scientist is.
You were a moon guy for a while, right?
Absolutely. I don't know enough about astrophysics, about space travel, about the science that's, you know, the work that's been done, about how to get a rocket to the moon and back. I definitely don't know enough.
Do you have any people paid by the CIA who are working for television networks? This, I think, gets into the kind of getting into the details, Mr. Chairman, that I'd like to get into in executive session.
There are 5 giant multinational corporations who control all 14,000, virtually all 14,000 radio stations in America, all 5,000 television stations, 80% of our newspapers, all of our billboards, and most of the large internet content providers. So there are 5 guys who are deciding what we hear as news and information.
Pandering is common amongst cowards. There's a lot of cowards. A lot of cowards today.
Yeah.
That's when you go, wait a minute, your priorities are totally screwed up if you're worried about telling the American people important things because your source might not talk to you anymore.
Well, you know the Breitbart story.
I do.
I don't like getting conspiratorial.
Speaking of guys who aren't reporters, though, I mean, that drives me nuts.
He wasn't a reporter.
I know,
but,
it drives me nuts.
But what's weird about the story is that the guy has a heart attack and then his coroner gets poisoned. The guy's coroner
was the
dies.
coroner poisoned or did he die?
What happened? I'm pretty sure it's poison. Let's read it up.
A little conspiratorial.
It does, but listen right away to your reaction. which is fascinating. Well, you're talking about a guy who's maybe releasing very sensitive information about very powerful people, and you're like, that sounds good.
Well, it does.
But it's a natural
listen,
inclination. I'm not saying you're incorrect.
I think a good
Why did Breitbart tweet about that in 2011? Do you remember that tweet?
Breitbart knew about it.
It came out.
Breitbart said, I'm going to bring out the biggest thing that's going to bring down the Democrats, and they poisoned him right here in California.
You think they poisoned him?
No, absolutely. They killed him.
What happened? I didn't even know how he died. I thought he died of a heart attack. Is that what
yeah.
Are you laughing?
It's pretty disgusting and sad to see how much Joe Rogan has sold out. He's now standing up for the satanic freaks that run Hollywood. I saw his podcast recently where he's standing up for actress Allison Mack, who was just recently been involved in that sex cult scandal. And I'll show you the clip here where he is pretty much standing up for her and saying, oh, well, if that's just what she wants to do, shouldn't we just, where's the line where we should draw saying that's wrong and this and that? And it's just disgusting. He is such a sellout. Joe Sellout Rogan is his name for a reason. I mean, here's this video, extremely long-winded responses. I'm not going to play any of it now, but Joe Rogan, why he changed his stance on the moon landing, used to stand up for the fact that it was a complete fakery, but now he's completely sold out because he's gained more popularity, and so he's either been talked to or who knows the reason why. But actually, integrity lies. It lies in himself. He's selfish. He wants to know the truth, and he would lie even to his own mother, know the truth. And that's just about UFOs, let alone if they actually came to him and told him, you've gotten too much popularity, you need to shut up about this stuff. His friend Eddie Bravo talks about conspiracies all the time, and we hear Joe talking against him, and all the idiots on Joe Rogan's, on his panel or whatever, they all are just, everybody except Eddie Bravo that has no idea what's going on. Some of them have been hit too many times in the head, and the other ones are just complete liberal morons. But let's listen to this clip where Joe Rogan stands up for this Allison Mack sex cult, sex freak, part of the satanic elite in Hollywood, and let's hear what Joe has to say about that. And there's bad language in this, and they're talking about sex and stuff, so if you don't want to hear it, you should probably click off now.
Let me ask you this. If you run into a bunch of girls, okay, say you're this girl, and your thing is like being in a cult with one master who gets to fuck all these women, who's to say that you shouldn't be into that if you're her, right?
I know.
And now who's to say if she goes and talks to a bunch of other girls and talks them into having sex with this guy, why is that bad?
That's what I'm saying. Was she
it's
was she
not
get
what
into
you
the
want
house?
your daughter to do. It's not what you want your sister to do. But
so Joe Rogan thinks it's cool that people are part of sex cults, and if they want to be part of a sex cult and follow some certain guy, then why should that be a bad thing? Well, it's weird because it's a sex cult, Joe Rogan, and that is not the way that things are supposed to be. People aren't supposed to be living their lives like that. It's not positive. You think that helps these girls and all the people involved in that? They're with who they are, being part of a sex cult and being branded and raped and forced labor.
Pandering is common amongst cowards. There's a lot of cowards. A lot of cowards today. Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are still sponsored by the Fleshlight. Before we even get started, we got to talk about the rubber vagina that we use on a weekly. I've been using it weekly, especially
weekly.
How many times a week?
Double day. I'm up to twice a day now.
No wonder the fucking thing is falling apart.
His is falling apart.
You fucking that tropical hump.
I know. That's why it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're sending that crap to me.
But you're professional, even though you pretend not to be.
I pretend?
Yes.
Interesting. Is that your perception?
Yes,
I'm
it is.
pretending not to be. Assess me.
That's your shtick.
Oh, my shtick is that I pretend to not be professional?
No. Your shtick is you pretend to be outside the box. When I believe that you're more inside the box than these melon heads listening know or realize.
Well, like
you're an enigma inside a what's that saying?
A riddle.
Yeah.
Wrapped in secret sauce.
Correct. Something like that. Yeah. You ought to and I only mean this metaphorically, kids. You ought to swallow a fucking revolver.